Hello and welcome to tonight's stream featuring some pretty big dinos. It's quite straightforward tonight, nothing too fancy, but hopefully we see some big plays. Of course, an even bigger Rotting Regisaur. Of course, Ghalta the Queen, she's got to come down at some point. Hopefully everyone's doing well tonight. Just give a brief overview of the changes. Now, something a bunch of you guys have actually mentioned quite a few times now. Collision Colossus, yes, pretty versatile. Again, getting trample on somebody, mainly Rotting Regisaur, I would imagine, but getting trample on somebody at instant speed, but also buffing them with fantastic +4. Certainly, it's pretty easy to cast in those colors, but also collision. At times, there have been some flying creatures that do give us trouble, especially if we don't have a Shifting Ceratops held back, or maybe mana left to give it reach. If we have mana for collision, we'd probably have mana for Shifting Ceratops. But yes, taking out most flying things at 6. It would be nice if it dealt 7. We could take out Sarah's Emissary. That'd be pretty lovely. But I like the versatility, and again, getting trample on something. Might even be, Drover of the Mighty. While it's a 3/3, could make sense in some instances. Make it a 7/6 trample. 7/4. Yes. No. 7/5. Math is hard. But yes, a big Drover of the Mighty. Also, potentially Marauding Raptor could get quite big. Nasty times when it's a 6/3. Slap a Colossus on it, make it a 10/5. That's pretty decent. That's a lot of damage we'll get through. Certainly might do the trick. And Hazoret, of course, been loving her, so getting her trample is also going to be quite lovely. And we get multiple collision Colossuses. That's fantastic. Where Embercleave, which I still love, I definitely still love, but get a couple Embercleaves, might not be so good. Of course, we can discard extra copies away with Rotting Regisaur, but I don't want to, or prefer to, love seeing extra copies. Whenever I see something, love to see it. Huntmaster maybe is the exception, of course, when Marauding Raptor is out and it kills Huntmaster. But other than that, pretty good stuff. A lot of stuff at 4. Hazoret, Ripjaw, Shifting Ceratops. But we got pretty much the full set of all the 3 amigos. Hey, Flaming Draco, how's it going? Hey, you are early this time. Good stuff, good stuff. I was just saying it's pretty simple for anyone watching right now or later on in the future. Pretty straightforward. Lots of fun. Pretty basic, but I think we're going to bring some nasty damage. Again, with Collision, Colossus, Trample, Instant Speed. That's where it's at. And I was just mentioning about the 3 amigos here. Something I do like, any of these will enable, hopefully, a turn 3 Shifting Ceratops, Ripjaw Raptor, something at 4. It enables that. But also, there can be some pretty crazy, efficient plays with combining all these, if it makes sense to, and if they don't get killed. Of course, there's a good chance some of these early plays are going to eat removal of some kind, so always having plenty of them can be pretty nice. You're always doing something turn 3, especially if the opponent thought seizes, rips something from the hand, counters it, something like that. Then if you have, all 3 of them, you can make some nice combinations. Say turn 3, you go Marauding Raptor for 2, Drover of the Mighty for 1. If Huntmaster got killed, which oftentimes happens when the opponent deals 2 damage to it, or something like that. So it's nice keeping the early game going. Rotting Regisaur, as always, hasty guys. Single copy of Ripjaw. I had started out with the full playset, but I forgot to add Hazoret in just before I started here, so cut a few of that, put the rest in the sideboard. And speaking of the sideboard, it is pretty standard for myself, at least. Of course, Rampaging Ferocidon, that's got to be in there. Anger of the Gods. Yes, going back to this to deal with lots of stuff. Certainly Jun Food, taking out Mayhem Devil, Priest of Forgotten Gods, that sort of thing, but specifically Mayhem Devil, that is the headache of all headaches. Also Priest of Forgotten Gods, but definitely hitting stuff at 3 or less does the trick a lot of the times. And certainly Izzet Phoenix, taking out Dragon's Rage Chandlers, maybe a Sprite Dragon before it's growing too big, but the Phoenixes as well does the trick. Deathgorge Scavenger, of course, dealing with graveyard things. Other than that, I think we're ready to jump into these matches here. Hopefully it's a little bit better than last night. Didn't go too well, but you know, that's bound to happen every now and then. And that art there, if anybody's wondering what it is, Fists of Flame. I guess I should call it Claws of Flame. That might actually be pretty nice idea for a name and addition one night, one stream. Fists of Flame, for anyone that doesn't know, is 1 and a red, instant speed, draw a card. Target creature gets +1/+0 and trample for each card you've drawn this turn. So they would get +2/+0 at a minimum. The card you drew for the turn plus the card you drew from casting Fists of Flame. I did look at Kolaghan's command. It's still on the radar, but honestly, there's just so many fantastic, interesting things to do. I do like the idea of Kolaghan's, though. Bringing back some creatures that, like I say, often die to a wide variety of things. But this looks doable. Hopefully there's something like Stomping Ground that we get. There's, speaking of, the namesake. But yes, Kolaghan's command, certainly. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to say Dinosaur for now. Hopefully, again, we get something that's green or red. But yeah, I mean, I could go the Great Henge one night with Rotting Regisaur, reducing it to 2. Something fantastic like Kolaghan's command. Oh, that's good. That's pretty good. You know what? I think we got to maintain the maximum speed. Hopefully. Name human with that unclaimed territory, unfortunately. Hey, Blue Bear, how's it going? Peace, yes. Cross the fingers. This looks like a nasty 5-color Niv Mizzet. Hopefully that's not the case, but I think Otepec Huntmaster is going to eat some removal, potentially. And I was excited. The snow started to melt yesterday, but just got a massive, massive dumping. Similar to when I went snowshoeing just recently, but to be expected, Lightning Helix. At least they used up something that deals 3 damage, which I think a lot of their stuff deals 3 damage. But like I was saying just before I started here, we can still make this work quite nicely. Got Marauding Raptor for 2, Drover of the Mighty for 1. That's quite decent. Hopefully they don't go Deafening Clarion, something that deals 3 damage. Anger of the Gods. Okay. Hey, 5-color Niv Mizzet has some pretty fantastic removal options. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just go Secluded Courtyard. Rotting plus Drover of the Mighty. Hopefully they don't sweep us coming up here, but, you know, as a backup, Drover of the Mighty being a 3/3, pretty fantastic stuff, but yes, as I was saying, there was a lot of snow to shovel tonight, just before I started. Would have started a little bit earlier, but yeah, wow, icy. Our driveway here is not flat, it's on a pretty steep incline, so even in winter tires, you slip around. Have to put down like 20, 30 pounds of salt at times just to get traction. Yeah, definitely that forest. Ooh, that's interesting. Well, certainly Shifting Ceratops. We could still go with Colossus, but probably better just to give Shifting Ceratops haste with Drover. Yeah. Still quite a bit of damage, and we got two things that will survive something like Deafening Clarion, Anger of the Gods. I think they may want to do that, or just Culling Ritual will not do the trick. So, we know they have something nasty like that. As long as we have one of these guys here. Colossus. Oh, man. You guys joined at the right time. Fantastic way to start it off. No shades tonight. Actually, I don't know where they are. My daughter probably took them, was playing with them tonight or today at some point. So they could literally be anywhere, under the couch. You can imagine. Things get lost and they just reappear out of nowhere. But it's 5C, Nev Mizzet. So I think Regisaur Raptor going to do the trick. Not a whole lot of creatures to bust through, but Colossus could help us trade with Territorial Kavu, which is likely in here, I would expect. We didn't see it, but might be nice, potentially. Colossus on Shifting Ceratops, making it 6 toughness. Territorial Kavu is only at 5 power, so that might be good. But speaking of shades, I have considered getting actual ones for myself, because pretty much this is all I do right here, so might be nice to help preserve my eyes, which are pretty good. I like shifting though. Yeah, I think I'll keep the Ripjaws out, keep it as is. I was thinking Anger of the Gods, but really there's not a whole lot it would kill. Territorial Kavu gets above 3 toughness almost instantly, it seems. Basically, right away with all the triomes that 5C Nev Mizzet uses. But definitely, if I do get shades at some point to help with glare or whatnot, they will be green. Certainly my favorite color. I think my wife is actually looking into that. They might be coming as we speak, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's a little risky, certainly, but do have turn 2 Huntmaster. Would be nice being able to go turn 1 Commune, dig for probably another land. Oh, well, as long as Huntmaster survives, this could get real good. And also, now that I think about it, I think it was mentioned to me before, Colossus here dealing 6 would be able to take out Nev Mizzet itself. So that's actually pretty exciting. But I have a sneaky suspicion Huntmaster's gonna die. Blind as a bat, you say? Need to wear glasses? Yeah, definitely. I just figured they're all pretty much the same, but if there's something specific, certainly worth considering. I've always thought it'd be pretty intense, you know, gamer glasses. Yeah, I think it's got to be Dinosaur. I was thinking human to help cast Huntmaster here, but we do have a source of red. Yeah, pretty much got to be Huntmaster. Unfortunately, it's not Marauding Raptor. If we did get another land next turn, we could go Rotting Regisaur for 2. Still have 2 lands left over for Ghalta, but as it is right now, might work out. Of course, if we had 2, we could go Colossus on Huntmaster to trade with the Territorial Kavu. That might not be the best, but oh, what deck is this? Pretty much just basic Jund Dinos. You got Rotting Regisaur, which is the only thing that's requiring black in this list tonight. But yes, this is the fairly... Oh, new edition. Okay, we're saying goodbye to something. But Collision Colossus, taking out something flying, 6 damage. Trample on creatures that need it. Rotting Regisaur oftentimes gets chump blocked. So big, doesn't have trample. So Colossus +4, +2 and trample on Rotting Regisaur hopefully is going to do the trick. But I'm not blocking. We are pretty low though. Oh, speaking of Marauding Raptor, good stuff. We'll try Commune just to see what it gets us. Yeah. Ooh, that is interesting. I do like the lands. I also like Regisaur Alphas too. Yeah, I'm going to go Rockfall Vale. Then we'll potentially have the option of collision if they do play Niv-Mizzet. Try and get as much damage as possible. They'll certainly want to swing because we're wide open. Could maybe do enough next turn, but I think Marauding Raptor is going to die. I should say I have been pretty fortunate in the eyesight department, playing on a computer pretty much since I was 12 or so. I'm 32 at the moment. I don't actually know how old I am, but basically around 20 years, pretty much as I can, really. Computer screen every day, and my eyes are still pretty good, but definitely glasses of some kind would be nice. Is that gonna do it? I think that might. Well, we'll still play Secluded Courtyard. Certainly have to get Colossus on Huntmaster here. Hopefully they don't have, well, Ghalta, that's rough. Yeah, I don't think we got a way out of this one. I was thinking that was a fight spell. Okay, well, we got to get a body. Somebody, anybody, and that is not a body. That is a land. That's all right, though. We took a game from him. Feeling pretty good about this. 2 Ghaltas, you know. You run that risk when you bring in 3 copies of the Queen. I have played 4 copies of Ghalta before. I know that's pretty crazy stuff, but that's going to happen at some time, some point. She is fantastic. You get her down. As always, you've probably seen before, Ghalta gets it done. Ooh, yeah, I can get behind a hand like that. Hopefully Drover survives, so we're able to play Rotting Regisaur, but definitely Stomping Ground, Lair of the Hydra. I like it. Ooh, that's not good. I mean, we get a drafted card, which is kind of nice. I've never actually had break expectations used on me, so is there something here that I would want? Huh. Whirler Maker would help against sweepers, I guess. I have not gotten around to creating that video against Shield Maiden, but definitely in the works. I guess Whirler Maker. Yeah, Drover. Pretty much I like to do the streams like right now, every night, because I know I can do it consistently, get it out pretty much every night, and at least do the streams as a baseline sort of thing and then add the other stuff. But I think perhaps I could just take one night off, piece together that match against Shield Maiden, maybe layering or mirroring both of us at the same time. So you see my hand, her hand, she's talking, I'm talking, she's saying stuff about what I might do, and then you can see what I have in my hand at that specific time. So it could be pretty interesting, I think. I'm actually still quite excited about it. So certainly it's still coming. Huh. Let's see. Well, seems like Huntmaster, and kind of want to go the other Huntmaster, but just in case they got something, some sort of sweeper, we might use Colossus to save somebody here. Croxa, that's not nice. Well, I guess we'll discard Whirler Maker. Didn't get a chance to play it. More lands, you know, that's something. Oh, it was fantastic. Man, just... She saw Dinos. So when you see Dinos, you expect Ghalta, the queen of all Dinos, to come down at some point, and Ghalta certainly did. Get a little bit of damage in here. I mean, 2 is not nothing. It might do the trick. Certainly it is nice having the backup of Colossus to probably save Huntmaster, get it to a 4 toughness if they try to sweep us here. But man, we got a lot of reduction. Oh, that is actually quite nice. I like that. I think I'll just give Shifting Haste. I feel, well, somebody's going to want to trade with Kavu. Oh, the Drover. Yeah, let's get Colossus on it. Get a little bit more damage through. Get rid of that guy and do the trick. But certainly anytime Ghalta comes down, if the opponent can't deal with her pretty much right away, 1 swing sometimes is all it takes. And I think... particularly at that moment, there was Rotting Regisaurs as well. I think I had a Rotting Regisaur out, played another Rotting Regisaur, played Ghalta for 2. I mean, even Ghalta for 3, for 4, anything like that is still fantastic. A 12-12 trample. And oftentimes, of course, the queen, she does have haste with Huntmaster. Now, the question we got to ask ourselves. They have something to kill Shifting Ceratops, or they have Settle the Wreckage. I do, certainly. I'm hoping to go really fast, but previously it was a little bit slower. Yeah, I like leaning more towards creatures. Commune with dinosaurs, searching for a dinosaur or land. It's certainly nice having more hits with that, but there are some key spells. Collision Colossus seems to be doing the trick here tonight. But I'm thinking of... Yeah, I'll make Lair of the Hydra. Creature. Hopefully this does the trick, and we're not swinging into a Settle the Wreckage. Crossing the fingers. That I expected. Vanishing Verse, something like that. They had an answer for somebody. Otherwise, they would have instantly conceded there. But definitely, I love going really fast. Oftentimes, that's something good to be doing, unless playing against control, you know, they're going to sweep the board. They have lots of mana up. They might have something. Of course, they could be faking it, but usually I just love going fast. Perhaps one night I'll even show off the turn 3 hasty Ghalta, Queen of Dinosaurs. That gets pretty crazy. Chances are I may not get it off the night I feature that, but if I do, oh boy, lovely stuff. This could be nice, actually. If we get Collision, kill Niv Mizzet. Bam. Otepec Huntmaster for the win. Oh boy, cross your fingers, cross your claws. Actually, wait, they can't. It is just Huntmaster for the win. Oh my goodness. All you guys watching right now, as watching later on, you didn't think Otepec Huntmaster was a threat. but he did the trick. I certainly would not have expected an ending like that. You saw they drew Deafening Clarion, Culling Ritual, would have got rid of stuff. Oh, nasty, nasty things. But my goodness, nice Flaming Draco. Certainly. Little guy. He does it. Which reminds me, I do have a match previously. Raptor Hatchling. Anyone that doesn't know, 1 and a red. Whenever it's dealt damage, make a 3/3 dinosaur token. It is a 1/1, but I won because of Raptor Hatchling solid win. Thank you very much. Hopefully we can keep that streak going tonight with Colossal Dino, but alright, starting off on a positive note, taking down a very pesky, annoying deck with all that removal. It's rough. But again, something like 5C Niv-Mizzet, Shifting Ceratops can help quite a bit. Anything that's above 3 toughness, it seems. You saw there they did have some sweepers, or 3 mana value. They did bring in Culling Ritual, which I haven't seen a whole lot. I've used it myself a couple nights there, you may have seen, but oh, I don't even have to look at that. Don't even have to think about it. If all goes well. We'll see. Definitely 5C Niv-Mizzet. I'm sure if you guys have played any amount of time, that's a deck you faced, a deck you might use as well. It is pretty fun being able to bring in all these fantastic multicolored spells that do some pretty flashy stuff. But now, you see here, we got a lot of options, but in this case, I'm going to hope that Drover survives, because next turn would be able to go Huntmaster for 2, Rotting Regisaur for 2. I think I'm going to try that. If I didn't have that Secluded Courtyard, I would have played it a little bit safer, gone Otepec Huntmaster, but with the potential for 4 mana next turn, Huntmaster 2, Rotting Regisaur for 2, this line of play has come in a little bit before, but no, certainly I'm not blocking. Ooh, and the Ghalta. This is actually looking decent, to say the least. Hopefully they don't kill Drover. Oh, phew, I was worried there for a second. But they missed their window. They should have killed... Well, Mana Tithe, I haven't seen you in quite some time. That was rough. Actually, there actually is a game or a match where I met back-to-back Mana Tithes. That was nasty stuff there. Man, you don't expect the Mana Tithe for one, but Mana Tithe, lol is right. That's okay. Drover the Mighty, as you can see, has helped us cast Regisaur Alpha. I mean, if all goes well, we could have the Queen next turn. Saffron Olive would be proud. Yes, definitely. We're still going to get Ghalta for 2. Yep. They're like, oh, we'll stop them. But then they're like, wait a second. Ghalta's cost 4. And will just cost 2 when they play that second Drover the Mighty. Whew. The Mana Tithe did not do much. We didn't give them a whole lot when they asked for stuff. So they probably went bankrupt. Because we didn't have any tithe to give them. But certainly seems like a deck Anger of the Gods is going to help quite a bit. A lot of cheap stuff. Boros, aggro, something like that. Anger should do the trick. Hazoret, yeah. I think spell-wise, like you say, you like seeing lots of spells. But in this case, switching Collision Colossus with Anger of the Gods seems like a pretty good idea, especially Anger potentially taking out a lot of things, hopefully. The Undying Queen Ghalta, yes. Regisaur Raptor, lots of creatures. Switch that for 3 of the Shifting. Yeah, I think we can just keep it like that. Was thinking of keeping Shifting Ceratops in, but we have stuff like Rotting Regisaur, the one shifting, and Regisaur Raptor that do... Oh my goodness. The starting hand was pretty fantastic, the last one. Hopefully, again, things survive. It would be nice getting a second Marauding Raptor there, potentially going... Oh. Okay, well, I mean, it's not really the end of the world. Anyone watching now, watching later on, that is why you have a couple basics, just in case they got some shenanigans like that. In the past, I have done 1 mountain, 3 forests, some combination of that. It certainly has helped quite a bit, but with my addition, and because it is 3 colors, that takes up some space, stuff like Deathcap Glade here, but... Yeah, I think I'll go Regisaur Raptor, get that card draw. Still, we may be able to go Ghalta for 2 next turn if everybody survives. Rotting for 2, Ghalta for 2. I like it. Hopefully they don't sweep us here. I see 2 sources of red, so we could be meeting Wrath of God, Day of Judgment. My goodness, this is night and day difference from last night. Wow, okay, exciting stuff. Good things you're seeing right here, live, as always. Well, not always if you're watching later on, but... Yes, I was worried because Boros aggro, anything nasty, a lot of creatures, the mana tithe that was kind of annoying there. But, okay. Yes, that was pretty nice. I was, again, certainly worried anytime you see a deck like that, 2 sources of white, yes. 2 sources of white. In the back of my head, I'm always thinking some sort of Wrath, Settle the Wreckage, of course. Always nasty. Again, we don't have a whole lot of basic lands, so we wouldn't be gaining a whole lot of value from creatures that die to Settle the Wreckage, but this looks pretty good. Hey, see, I mentioned at the start of tonight having a lot of 2-drops. But it seems they disliked Hazoret a little bit more. That's interesting. Blue Bear, it certainly seems that way. But of course, there is variance, and just could be doing pretty good at the moment. I expected Drover of the Mighty to eat some removal, especially since they discarded Hazoret. Of course, Rakdos, they got the fantastic on... Oh. Well, it seems strong. It seems strong the first couple matches there, but this is always going to be annoying. Rakdos, discard. Ouch. To say the least. Well, we got 3 lands. Shifting... let's see. Commune and Shifting. There's a lot of good stuff there, a lot of potential options, but... Yeah, I'm just going to go Rotting Regisaur. Maybe we top deck another Hazoret. That'd be pretty fantastic. But seeing they got a lot of discard stuff, potentially game 2, I may want to try and dump my hand even faster.
I bring my own arm.
Just so their discard things are not doing much. It is unfortunate having to say goodbye to... Do we want to pressure Sorin? Maybe. Yeah, it actually, now that you mention it, it seems like it can be positive against discard decks, especially with this variation, discarding stuff. Hopefully. It is very scary that Unholy Heat can kill Rotting. Very scary. Yeah, as long as I can dump my hand, you know, get some nice damage. They got some fairly weak creatures again. Anger of the Gods coming in to sweep lots of stuff here, actually. I think that's going to be good. But speaking of killing Rotting Regisaur with Unholy Heat, I had a game or a match a little bit ago where they used 2 Unholy Heats to take out Ghalta. Now, talk about scary. I mean, they did have to use 2 spells, of course, but that was nasty. Yeah, I was thinking maybe Seasoned Pyromancer and the token would double block to take out Drover the Mighty, but certainly taking 7 damage is not a fun time. Rampaging Ferocidon as well would be pretty fantastic, but yes, down is right. Double Unholy Heat, taking out Ghalta. Not a good sight.
You can deal with my servant.
Well, Commune, you know, that's usually always nice. Ooh, that's interesting. Well, we don't have Rotting, so we're not going to be discarding stuff. Let's see. So we got 3 potentially this turn. Would like to play something, and it would be Marauding. Let's go for it. Called it. Yep. Okay. Hopefully this does the trick. It is a little rough seeing that Magmatic Channeler being a 4/4. That's fairly decent. It is out of range of Anger of the Gods that we're going to bring in for game 2 here. Death Gorge as well. Now that I think about it, man, we pretty much... Hey, discard stuff, doing nothing at the moment. Okay. In the past, it has worked, and it seems to be doing a little bit of work here now. Kind of funny, actually. I wish I had a laughing dino emote. Maybe the excited one. I think that's the excited one. That's close enough, I guess. But it looks like things are getting away from us. Oh man, that is a big board. Anger of the Gods, yes, would be lovely. Well, you know, another land is not going to do it. So let's stop the pain and suffering for this game, at least. Yes, Anger of the Gods, man, we're just everything. Oh. Wow. All right. Collision Colossus, they do have a lot of small creatures. Chump blocking could be a factor. So, again, getting trample on something big, making the chump blocker not much of a chump. Going right through it can be good, but again, we saw all the little things they had. Anger of the Gods going to potentially just smoke them, wipe them out. Certainly feels right. Taking out the shiftings. There is a fair bit that does die to Anger of the Gods with Rampaging Ferocidon and Death Gorge Scavenger here, but I don't think it was zombies, just good old Rakdos, black-red, discard, getting different stuff in the graveyard. Delirium, so that Unholy Heat can deal 6 damage to something if they have 4 different types of cards in the graveyard. So graveyard interaction with Death Gorge Scavenger here should be good. Usually targeted stuff can do the trick, but they did have some zombies there. But it seemed like just generic discard. Hazoret, maybe. Rakdos midrange, yeah, that'd be a good name for it. Certainly wasn't Rakdos aggro. I mean, it was a lot of small stuff, but yeah. Let's see. Cutting something else. That's a good question. Rampaging, yeah. I think I'm just going to cut all the rampaging. Again, we did see a lot of little things they had, but Davriel's Withering, that is very nasty stuff. I think it's -2/-2 perpetually. The yeah, no, now that I think about it. Hazoret, pretty fantastic. This hand would be good. But yeah, maybe I should have done the Haz, since I'm really wanting to dump my hand. We'll make it work. Do our best, as always. Anger of the Gods, I do want to keep in. There's no sources of red yet to cast it. But I'm actually going to send Rotting Regisaur to the bottom. Yes, I know. It's pretty crazy, but no sources of... Well, okay, there's Rotting. Definitely has to be Stomping Ground. Start to get our sources of red. I mean, Hazoret plus Anger of the Gods, she's featured in that art, so technically that's basically the perfect pairing, I would say. A match made in heaven. Hopefully they... Oh, yes, okay, so they didn't like our discard exile stuff, but... yeah, could be risky, paying the 2 life. May have been better getting Stomping Ground tapped, using Commune to search for another source of red. But perhaps Huntmaster will be scary because they can't see one card that we have. So they might be worried about a big dino coming down. Oh, phew. Oh, that was lucky. I was worried I wouldn't get another source of red. Discards Rotting Regisaur, the black dino, or Deathcord Scavenger. I haven't used it a whole lot. Let's see. Yeah, Regisaur Raptor. Would be nice if we could play it, but were you mentioning about Deathgorge here? He can be pretty fantastic. You know, gaining life can be nice. Help stabilize a little. Oh, hey. Speaking of, Kolgan's command. Yikes, there it is. Ouch. Oh, the one that I discarded. Deathgorge. Rough stuff, yes. Targeted exile. But, hey, no, that's all good. No worries. Yeah, Deathgorge does the trick. It makes use of our own graveyard, because likely our creatures are going to die. We have non-creature spells. So there's usually always something for him to eat. Does the trick. And multiples can be pretty fantastic. Against something like a control deck, they have a lot of spells, countering things. There's usually always something for a guy like Deathgorge to eat, grow bigger, chip away at him, certainly. But he does the trick. He's fantastic. And of course, I mean, a dinosaur. Sometimes coming down for 1 green is pretty fantastic stuff. But we got to play. Yeah. Certainly, Deathgorge will be featured like a lot of the key dinos in my upcoming Dinosaur Primer. Marauding Raptor, that's interesting. Yes, dinos definitely good combo, mana, stats, and dinos can basically do everything. Anything you could possibly want, I imagine. I'm going to wait to see what they do this turn coming up. Could get nasty with Rahilda there. So I think, unfortunately, we got to block with Grover. But that Marauding makes them really not want to cast any other smaller creatures. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, Dinos can pretty much do everything we could possibly want. I should actually go over that maybe some night, some stream. Start off with all the interesting dinos you may not have heard of, you may not have ever looked at, because I've tried basically every single dino there is. Oh, they played right into it. Smoke them. No one expects a second. Ooh. Hopefully that slows them down enough. Ooh, God. Oh. It's exciting. We got the queen, but I don't like the Dread Horde. More lands is not exactly what we need at the moment. Yeah, I could go on about dinos for hours, which I plan to introduce. Oh, can't discard Ghalta. That's a little bit more than mana value of 3 or less. Double Anger is nasty, but I don't think Drover the Mighty's surviving, especially with Dreadhorde Arcanist swinging. Yeah, that's going to do the trick. So again, Blue Bear, like you said, bring in the Haz. I think she would have helped greatly. Oh, and we could still go Ghalta, but Junji, the Midnight Sky has flying, so that's going to do it for this. Double Anger is nasty. So yeah, I think potentially I should have brought in the Haz. Yeah, definitely an updated deck tech on dinos. Get to know more of the cards, different ways you can use them, that sort of thing. Just familiarizing yourself. Hazoret the God, quite literally. Rest in peace. Yes. Yeah, better understanding. Certainly when you put them into play. And again, if you ever see cards you haven't really seen, or you just want a explanation, certainly just leave a comment while you're watching now or later on. Of course, if that's when you're watching, you want to see a little bit more explanation on something, because certainly there are a lot of dinos that are very uncommon. People just simply forgot existed. But I think that's one of their strengths. A lot of people, because they haven't seen them, don't know about them, can catch them off guard. There are some interesting, very interesting things. Specifically, I'm reminded of one, Temple Altasaur, I think it is. 4 and a white. Other dinosaurs you control, you prevent all but 1 damage to them. So something like a 6/6 Marauding Raptor blocking that 6/6 is only going to take 1 damage. Bam. Pretty fantastic durability there, but ooh, well, we're seeing Hazoret, Rotting Regisaurs. Still not too good. Okay, that's definitely a lot better. Yeah, Marauding and Commune. Certainly if I had a source of green here, I probably would keep the Commune. Go with that turn 1, but it is not the case. Secluded Courtyard. Still, it is nice. Hopefully we don't have to name human for Unclaimed Pit. Hey, the Thoughtseize, turn 1. Apex Altasaur. Yes, I was hoping Apex Altasaur would come in for maybe a historic anthology, something like that. That would have been lovely. Yes, I did see that actually. That was pretty interesting. Oh man, I think that's what got probably a lot of people maybe interested in dinos. It was sort of rough with the beta, but when they first came out, or actually I think way early on in the beta, They didn't actually have Ixalan. They had started with Amonkhet, the Egyptian pharaoh-themed set. So I couldn't even play with Dinos before Arena was released, and then slowly they started adding it. Oh, that was good. And I never looked back. But this is not so good. Not too sure what the opponent's on. It's Yorion, so you know they're going to bounce stuff and get a lot more value with enter the battlefield. Ooh, oh. I have a sneaky suspicion we're not winning this one. That's all right. My goodness. Yeah, let's not draw out the pain and suffering any longer. I would actually like Pygmy Allosaurus, which is the very first dinosaur. It even started out with the dinosaur typing before a lot of the dinosaurs got switched to lizards for quite some time, then got switched back to dinosaur. But Yorion, let's see. Probably just keep it as is, I think. Well, they do have a lot of spells, so like I was mentioning, there should be plenty for Death Gorge to eat, and he is a little bit lower in a curve. Flying stuff, collision, potentially killing Yorion, now that I think about it. I want to keep that in. Okay, let's get Death Gorge out of there. Certainly. Keeping Hazoret the Fervent, not making that mistake again. Yes, old school. Pygmy Allosaurus. Seems they don't really want to do those land walk abilities much anymore, but from Ice Age, yes. Hopefully, I mean, they would do some updated art for Pygmy Allosaurus. I should see if I can throw up a picture quick, but you can just search it and you'll see it's the art is a little rough, to say the least, but I like it. It is nice seeing a mulligan once, so we may have a little bit better chance here. Yeah, that still looks pretty good. Yeah, definitely. I would like to see more code cards added to packs. I think that would be a pretty fantastic way to do things. Maybe not every pack sort of thing. A sort of 1 in 4 chance perhaps, but certainly every pack would be pretty decent. I think that would go a long ways. Wouldn't really hurt things a whole lot. There'd probably be a pretty good secondary market for those codes, but yeah, I think it could work. I mean, I'd certainly play more paper myself if they included that. Probably buy a new box of the Streets of New Capenna coming out, hoping for those triomes, the black, red, and green one, and the white, green, and red one. But yeah, I think that'd probably get me to play more paper. Anyway, we can get to Ghalta right now. No, not the case. Next turn, though, potentially. Oh, man. There's a lot of things, like the codes and booster packs that, I mean, it seems like Wizards is dragging their feet. Just take inspiration from all the good things other card games do, digital or otherwise, and it would just elevate Arena, Magic in general to be even more fantastic. Random sleeves, avatars, yes, certainly. Code card, random cosmetic. There is enough. I mean, they could add more cosmetics, of course, but definitely. This could get good here if they can't do anything to Regisaur Alpha. If they don't interrupt Regisaur Alpha and the token, I mean, maybe we get the Queen coming down next turn. collector boosters. Hey, that would be a neat thing. Still potentially getting it from normal packs, but getting better stuff from collector boosters. Yeah, I'm actually a Pokemon fan as well. I did start with the original blue. Ooh. Oh, we might still get Ghalta. You never know. Ooh, not quite. Not quite. It was close, though. Shoot. I could have swung with Flier of the Hydra for 2. Yeah, that's alright. Hopefully that doesn't make all the difference dealing a little extra 2 damage here, but I do have some pretty sweet Pokemon cards. Almost the original of Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur. Oh, they're right in my desk. Well, we still might get Ghalta. Depending. Ooh, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we're 1 off. Man, that is getting close. Yeah, should be safe. Paying the 2, getting a Lair of the Hydra for 5, yeah. Seems like Yorion would probably want to trade with Regisaur Alpha there. Get a little bit of damage in. Actually, I'll just swing with Lair of the Hydra to get some damage. Maintain the possibility of a hasty queen. Started card collecting with Pokemon, even have a shiny Kyogre. I think that's how you say it. I always called it Kyrogue for the longest time. Oh man, shiny anything, but let's see if that might do it for this match. We'll try for Marauding, of course. Never know. Maybe get a little bit of damage. Continue chipping away. Lair of the Hydra. I am glad they didn't have anything like Fatal Push to kill it, but yeah, while we wait for them, let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. I'll show you the... Nope, that's not working. The Charizard. The video is flipped, but that's from, well, it's not shadowless, but it's in pretty good condition. Then, of course, I got the Blastoise and the Venusaur. That one's worth quite a bit. Okay, I gotta switch that. That is way too big. 1 second here. Alright. Back to normal. Ooh, Hazoret. Is Hazoret gonna do it? Yeah. A mobile Pokemon TCG. Certainly everyone's doing it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, they're doing pretty good with Duel Masters, I believe it's called. And that life gain from Maze Mine Tomb has helped. No, that Charizard I actually collected, or I bought back in 2014, 2016. So it's gone up in price, as I'm sure we're all aware. The Pokemon craze. Ooh, the one thing I did not want to see. At the very least, again, we still have the Lair of the Hydra doing something for us. That's not good. Excuse me. But I did collect them growing up when they were first released. Yeah, that's not going to do it for this match, unfortunately. Of course, I didn't really keep the cards I was collecting. So back in 2015, 2016 or so, I wanted that Charizard, Blastoise, and a Venusaur at the very least, just to have a near mint condition of those original 3 from one of the first sets. It's not shadowless, so it does have the shadow around the picture there, which means it's not quite from the very first printing, but it's basically right from the beginning. Oh, over an hour now. I think this will probably be the last match for tonight. Hopefully can end on a high note, but yes, I still got the queen. It's always nice seeing her at the very least. Maybe sometime down the line I up her to 4, but I definitely think 3 copies feels right for me. 2 copies could be good, but when I was trying out 2 copies of Ghalta, I just seemed like I wasn't seeing her quite enough as I would want. And when she comes down, like you guys have seen and probably done yourselves, ends things pretty quick, decides them. Usually, I mean, it doesn't happen, of course, too often with all the fantastic removal that opponents seem to have, but it's good. Yes, let's end on a win, certainly. We're not on the play, which is always pretty rough, and that hand is rough. Well, I think that's better. I mean, there's no of the 3 amigos, Drover, Huntmaster, or Marauding, but there's a pretty good chance that we may draw one, hopefully. Well, it is game 1, so we don't have Anger of the Gods. We don't need as many sources of red. If I had kept Stomping Ground, I would have been able to go turn 1 Commune here, but well, that's alright. Still make it work. Thought about, I actually do have a paper dinosaur deck. It's Gishath, EDH. I haven't done anything in paper with dinosaurs, but I do have basically every single dinosaur, and some copies I have like 80 of certain things. It's crazy. Marauding Raptor. Speaking of Marauding Raptor, yeah. Which that does remind me, that's also a video I've got to work on. Maybe doing a live stream some night of showing off my paper collection of dinos. It's pretty extensive, some interesting options that kind of synergize with them as well. Some old stuff. Desert. Just Desert. For anyone that doesn't know, it's from Arabian Nights. So one of the very first sets of Magic. And yeah, very nice. Okay, well, certainly something else to what seems to be a long list. Always a growing list, but always dinos. Always having a good time. The auto tapper there, as you may have seen, almost screwed me over, but luckily I caught it. Able to still go Huntmaster and Marauding. It's looking like Orzhov or ooh, man, this is not going good. I'm not sure what I feel is better, Orzhov or Azorius auras. Orzhov having black, lots of nice removal options in that color. But yes, definitely something featuring all my paper stuff. Yeah, this is certainly makes me wish for, what was it? Culling Ritual. Yes, Culling Ritual. Against a deck like this, we're going to get a lot of mana from exiling the tokens, the enchantments. I'll go Commune, see if that gets something nice. Ooh, speaking of. Good old Rotting. Shifting. Hopefully we're going big enough here, but that might not be. I'll swing with the Rotting. I'll see if they combine SRAM with... Oh, okay, they think they just won. They could have combined SRAM with Light Paws to take out... Culling is not in my sideboard, unfortunately. Kind of makes me a little sad tonight. Yeah, but that's how it goes. Sometimes you face a deck that you have a nice toolbox tech card that would do... Oh boy, okay. Nicest dinosaur in... a foil Zakama. Yes, Zakama is fantastic. I actually have... I might have mentioned this before, but... playset of the Judge foil promos of Zakama from the recent Judge convention. I mean, being that I'm all about dinosaurs, I should probably represent and splurge a little bit on that one. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I really wish culling was in my... nasty stuff. Yes, the Judge foil alternate art of Zakama is lovely. Huh. Well, we gotta block something. So that might do it. 1. Oh. Forgot the tokens. That's alright. I mean, Anger of the Gods potentially could get a few guys if they haven't attached doors on them, but I think we'll just try and go as fast as possible. But yes, when I saw that Zakama, if I was going to be considered a Dino Master, I thought I should get that, and I really don't buy anything else, so it wasn't too bad. It's basically just cards every now and then, and groceries, food, pretty much. That's about it. So certainly if I did more things outside of the house, probably wouldn't be able to make it work, but I saved up quite some time when I first saw that it was coming out. Let's see. Yeah, we'll see what Commune gets us. Always nice having something though. Marauding Regisaur, good stuff. Collision Colossus could come in handy, especially Collision potentially taking out something when they attach some aura that gives it flying, but the good old turn 1 Thoughtseize. Seems like they're looking at Collision Colossus there. I don't have the Secret Lair Gishath. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that one. Yeah, I might get it, might not. Hard to say. Yeah, maybe sometime down the line. Ooh, the Spirit Dancer. Well, we still could potentially take it out. Certainly get Rotting Regisaur down. May have been better to go Lair of the Hydra. Turn 2, just land for the turn, just so it comes into play untapped. Yeah, I don't know. Haven't decided about the Gishath. Zakama definitely felt like the thing to get. Maybe a little bit rarer than the Secret Lair Gishath. That was my thinking, at least. Down the line, it's going to be pretty nice having some rare dinos. Not that I would ever sell them, but yeah, I guess it could be Lair of the Hydra since it's coming into play tapped eventually at some point. Alright, Hazoret hopefully does the trick. Yeah, I definitely don't like it too much. Certainly, you said it. That is actually one of the main things that I did not like. Showing that venomous bite. What the heck is with this venomous bite? I don't know. Oh, I don't think it's a petty thing at all. I mean, that rubbed a lot of us Dino fans the wrong way. They just put it in there to make it seem more menacing, perhaps. The fact it can have a venomous bite, which, yes, definitely makes no sense whatsoever. I could see perhaps something like Death Gorge Scavenger, possibly. But again, it doesn't look like we're making it happen here. Well, that's alright. Orzhov Ors is rough, certainly. Very rough. Again, Culling Ritual. Like you say, Blue Bear. I wish it was in the sideboard. But that's okay. I had a good time. Hopefully you guys had a good time tonight or watching later on. We talked about quite a few different things tonight. Certainly a lot of things to look forward to coming in the future. Actually, now that, because we got on the topic of different dinos, maybe rest in peace. I mean, hey, that is what Orzhov Ors does. That is what Azorius Ors does. If you can't slow them down in the first couple turns, yeah, it's painful, to say the least. But Temple Altosaur, there it is. Now, one thing I do want to mention before I go here about Temple Altosaur specifically, you will, maybe I can scroll over a little bit more. I think my face is covering her. Let's move it 1 second here. Bear with me. One thing I will say about Temple Altosaur, you'll see if a source would deal damage to another dinosaur, so it doesn't actually protect itself. So if you do make the choice to try out Temple Altosaur, you probably want to go with the full playset, just so you have the highest chance of getting a second one, and then they protect themselves, and that will maximize the damage and the durability. Of course, somebody sees this out, they're probably going to target that and reduce, yes, white mana dinos. I guess technically dinos are Naya colors, white, red, and green, because there is quite a few white dinos, as you can see here. Lots of interesting stuff. Of course, Zatalpa, Awakening Sun's avatar. I mean, that's just fantastic, wiping out everything that isn't a dinosaur. Now, it does cost quite a bit, but maybe some night I feature that. Awakening Sun's ramp, focused on getting lots of mana and cost reduction to play something like this, and maybe some other big dinos. But yeah, that's just a small taste of the potential fun stuff that can be had. Kinjali Sunwing as well. That can be good to slow down aggression, little things when they want to play multiple stuff in a turn. Always nice having the creatures come into play tapped with Sunwing here. But yes, I'll leave it at that for tonight. Gishath's Sun's avatar, kind of annoying. Awakening Sun's avatar, I should say. Yes, I definitely, you got to watch out. Sometimes there's cast triggers. I think most of the dinos are cast triggers, especially Zakama, which Atali, Primal Storm, if the top card of your deck is a dino, you do get to cast it for free. So you do meet that requirement. Not Awakening Sun's avatar, because you do have to unfortunately have it in hand and cast it from hand, which, I mean, there's no cheating it out. Certainly no other deck is going to be able to reanimate or cheat out Awakening Sun's avatar. But yeah, the cast triggers, they can be kind of rough. But we can make it work sometime, some night. So I think, yeah, again, lots of fun stuff to look forward to. I had a good time tonight, and hopefully it doesn't snow much more. Doesn't look like it will be, but yes, looks like it stopped so far. All right, thanks for joining me. Remember, there is always room for improvement. I had a good time tonight, win or lose, as always, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.